Been a while since I've done any, made a video, and like I said, I'm not a videographer. This is a struggle for me. But it's been so cold out here in the barn. It's been down single digits at night, and I do have a furnace, but it just barely keeps up, takes the chill off. And because of that, my TIG cables are stiffer than a new broom. The plastic cables, water cables, are just as stiff as can be, and I'm really afraid I'm going to crack one of them. You know, and that's a couple $100 to replace the cables and everything else. So I'm going to lay off of that for a while. I needed to make a wire form buck-up. And I'm using 1/4 inch hot rolled steel I just got from the big box store, which is what most of the guys are using to make up wire form bucks. I'm going to weld them together. I have welded it together. I wanted to say something about gas welding. That a little setup like this is not that expensive. You know, for a couple $100, and maybe even cheaper if you can look at a possibly YouTube or one of the social media outlets. You can probably find one a lot cheaper than this. Garage sales, any place where there's guys that are hot rodders, they're getting rid of the torches. They're using MIG and TIG all the time, and but you can even buy new outfits pretty cheap. So I'm gas welding everything together. You can gas weld this is the standard frame that most of us are using on the Cyclekarts, and you don't need a MIG, and you don't need a TIG. You can use a torch to weld it. There's a couple sections that have been welded together on this. I cut them apart. It's easy to get 100% penetration. You've got a nice ductile weld because the heat zone spreads out so nice with the torch. So they're very strong. It's not going to crack on you. Probably less likely to crack than a MIG weld would be. So I've tried several different methods here. I tried free forming a cowl, aluminum cowl for this, and that didn't work very well. I went through a whole bunch of pieces and a lot of aggravation. Then I decided on trying a solid wood hammer form. So I glued together a whole bunch of wood, carved it all down, shaved it, sanded it, got a hammer form all made and everything. Tried that. That didn't work. And the problem with this is we've got a reverse curve here. The curve is coming up in this direction here, plus it's going over in this direction here. And that is very difficult to get. It needs to be shrunk in here, it needs to be stretched out here, and it's really hard to get that right. So this is going to have to be made up in, I'd like to make it up in 3 sections, the top and the 2 sides. I may end up having to make it up in a side piece and 2 pieces in the middle here, out of maybe 4. But this is almost finished now. This is the buck, and it's got to be tied together in here, and a little cross bracing in here, and then it'll be ready to start working with it. And I'll be forming my aluminum to go around this and conform to this, and then there'll be brackets on the frame itself that the cowl will attach to. But the main reason for this video was to tell you guys, don't count the torches out of the mix, because they're a viable way of building a frame. So that's about it.